introduce Wilfred. He takes some 10 minutes to talk about his experience in the US and what they are doing there, so that we can be able to learn. So Wilfred, welcome. You can use this one.
Good afternoon, everyone. So nice to see you. You know, I'm used to seeing you from the screen. So my name is Wilfred Mwiti, and I am the business development manager for the company as the Kenya Yearly program. I think most of you have come through my hands in one way or the other in their journey to the US. Before I continue, I would like to guests from different companies who have graced this occasion. I think it's a day to share and also get to appreciate those who have come out successfully out of this journey. So, for most of you maybe who might be new in the program, my journey is quite interesting because I was among the first people to join the program when it was starting, when it was very easy to call it a scam, as people used to. But I took the risk of joining the program. I remember I met Bob Mwiti in 2018 in a particular hotel in Meru. And then that's where my journey began. And to get to this level, I look back with a lot of pride and appreciation of everything that has defined my steps and my journey. Sometimes people think, I don't know why people think I've been in the US for a long time. I saw someone who was telling me I've been there for 4 years. I don't know, maybe it's because my journey was quite longer than initially anticipated. But actually, I went to the US in 2020, on 20th of December. Just some few days away from 2021, which was last year. So I've been there for I think this is my second year, I would say so, living in the US. I just came because there are so many things that we need to preach outside there about the program. We want to transform our society through this initiative where I was among the first students, and we want to transform it because personally I've seen a lot of transformation in myself. When I met Bob Mwiti in 2018, I just be very sincere. I was working in one of the circles in Meru, and I was getting paid 15,000 Kenyan shillings. Just to what happens to many graduates. I was just out of school in 2016. And then I thought, this is something that I can be doing. I don't know. I tried many applications to different companies, but sometimes you wait for quite long before you get something that really is ideal for you, especially at the beginnings. So that is when we met with him. We started this journey with no schools in mind. I mean, there's no school that I can think of that was part of the program that time that is in the program now. Because some of the schools that we started with were schools around Bob's neighborhood and Florida. I think he thought of those schools by the virtue that they were closer to his own. And, you know, the program could keep on changing. Every time there's a change. You know, I was a guinea pig. I think it's something that Bob was trying to do as part of his vision to see transformation, especially to graduates who are looking for opportunities. because we're in a country where it is very hard to get a job that can sustain you. Many times years of toiling at school, you get outside, and what you find is a situation where there are no jobs, and everybody is depending on you. So when we met, we started off with some of the schools that he was thinking. I remember one of the schools was in West Palm Beach in Florida, not just far away from Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. So we started there, and then he would come and change and say that, you know, we need now to stop looking at this school. We need to start looking at another school. I say it's the tragedy of being a guinea pig, in the sense that you find yourself in so many plans. So this school has changed. There's another school that he has brought. We started considering another school called Eastern Oregon University. Then we got ourselves in another ship. We started another school called Missouri Southern State University. Then we just found ourselves in another plan. Let's now start considering the GMAT exam. So I find myself in these so many plans. And it took me actually 3 years before I could finally relocate to the US. So I went to the US to do my master's in business analytics at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. Huntsville is the rocket city of the US. Those who are lucky to go there, they are going to an area where there is so much activities in science and technology, especially in aspects to do with space science. I usually say Huntsville is not a metropolis like New York or any other big city that you can think of in the US. But these are the technological cities, the small cities that hold the future of the world in terms of technology. So I went there, I did my master's in business analytics at the university, where I was also lucky to serve as a graduate teaching assistant. So I was assigned to, I think, 6 professors where I used to teach, to help them deliver their content to students, especially students who are pursuing their undergraduate studies. So sometimes I would grade students. I would also grade actually students who are doing the MBA. So on grade students, sometimes go and start teaching those undergraduate students with my deep accent. So it was a kind of amazing opportunity, and I could think like my dreams were panning out beautifully. I got so many opportunities at school, including serving as a key reviewer of one of the undergraduate journals at school. It's called Perpetual, where I was recommended by my professors because of my work. So when I went to the US, I didn't have full assistantship. My assistantship was half assistantship. I procured a student loan from Prodigy Finance. That time, Prodigy Finance used to fund the university. It no longer does, and it's no longer in our program. So I got the loan to cover for my cost of study and living expenses there. But when I went to school, because before I relocated, and already got assistantship. So when I relocated, I was not supposed to pay, because the University of Alabama is one of the most expensive schools in the program. It costs roughly around 5 million Kenyan shillings for an entire year to study there. So when I got my assistantship, I was supposed to pay a fee. I was treated like not like an international student, but a resident from Alabama. So I was supposed to pay only 3,000 US dollars. From all the way from 50,000 divided by half, because you have 2 semesters, all the way from something like 25,000 US dollars.
You're watching Success with Bob Mwiti Show, presented to you by Appstech America. Appstech America is a consulting company that helps immigrants find amazing higher education and job opportunities in the tech industry in the United States. You can find our programs by going to www.appstechamerica.com. Appstech America, we wake you up to the unlimited potential within you.
So the second semester, my professor came and told me, you know what, we are just giving you full assistantship. And from there now, I didn't have to pay a coin for my cost of studies and living expenses at the school. In fact, the school used to pay me because I was working for them full time now. So I just graduated in May this year, not long ago. And I graduated among top in my class with a GPA of 3.9 out of 4.0. It's just one professor who decided in the first semester that you cannot be so good and gave me a B, the only B that I got. So I got a 3.9 out of 4.0. So my journey in the program has been, the program is where I call home because under the mentorship of Bob Mwiti, I think I've been able to do a lot for myself. Without the program, I can't imagine how maybe my life could be now. So when I completed school, I remember Bob coming for my graduation. I just picked my small suitcase and off we were to Florida, where we currently work and live. And it's a dream come true because I remember Florida was the second landing place in the US after Boston in Massachusetts while I was going to the US. And because that time we would go to Bob's home and spend time there, we were not as many as the program is now. So we'd go there, spend time there, do different activities. Bob had taken the initiative of showing us around a taste of America before now you go to your school, to your specific schools. So I just fell in love with this beautiful place, Tampa. And I would just tell myself, I'm really hoping that this is gonna be my future home. And I think it's something that is happening in one of the most beautiful ways I could never imagine. And now, being on the forefront of helping students, especially those who want to achieve the same dreams, is something that captivates me. I actually like helping out because I understand the journey. But at the end of the day, sometimes I get people falling into a lot of anxiety, especially in this journey. It's not an easy journey. Some of us spent those 3 years before we could finally make it to the US. I remember one time we went to sign our official partnership agreement at the Indiana University of Pennsylvania, and we met Indian students who were telling us that sometimes they get denied visas as many as 5 times before they are able to get to the US. It's a lot of tenacity. And I think it's something that we lack as Kenyans because we have found ourselves in situations whereby people get denied visas. And when someone gets denied visas, it becomes the end of the game. It should not define, the first denial should not define you. There are so many, there are those stories. I think it's because in Kenya, we didn't have such a program before that will tell people that you can try as many times as possible. So my message to you, especially if you are at any stage, is that if you join this program, there's no looking back. If you face an obstacle somewhere, you just dust off and keep moving. Otherwise, if you give up, you find there's people who are so tenacious. They remain stuck on the idea and the dream and the goal that they possess without giving up. And these are the kind of people who find themselves there. We have stories, success stories of even those who have been unable to get school admission at one point, and they try again, they get admission. We have stories, success stories of some of the students who will be calling here today, who were initially denied visas, and they were able to come back stronger, realize their missteps, and make amends. So this is a journey that the moment you invest into it, you have invested your time, you have invested your resources, your energies. You just know that this is a journey that you are not supposed to look back. So that is my message. As we look forward towards a greater future for the program, I really wish everybody all the best. And also those who are going to the US, just go there and represent us well. I'm one of the most conspicuous figures, especially when it comes to the stories of students who have relocated to the US, because I've been having a family in this program. You know, you can decide to go to Illinois, you can decide to go to Delaware and do your own things. You don't care, because some people feel that whenever you go to the US, you have achieved all your dreams. But it's actually the beginning of another journey that you should prepare for adequately. Because apart from just being in the US, there's a lot of things to look into in the future. You need a stable job. Otherwise, you're going to be a career student. A career student, there are students who have not figured out their affairs quite well. And when they are done with their masters, they don't want to fall out of status, and they register for another master's. And then because they don't know what the outside world is like, when they are done with their second master, they can even register for another one. Most of the time, you find yourself in school, or you get outside, you're not prepared, you fall out of status. So these are some of the things that don't just look at the journey as coming to an end the moment you get to the US, because there is a journey ahead. And what you need is the mentorship and the guidance of the program to be able to transition easily through these steps. Because we want this to be a family of brilliant Kenyans, so that we can transform our nation at this critical moment. Thank you so much, and I wish everybody a great day ahead. Bye.
You've been watching Success with Bob Mwiti Show, brought to you by Upstack America. Come back next time to hear more steps and missteps that I took on the path to becoming a successful immigrant in USA. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn.